starting second in Sunday's Geico 500. Kurt, why don't you just take us through that run that put you on the front row?
Yeah, an awesome run. I've never been that close to a pole at a super speedway in my 19 years, and today I felt like we had the chance to get it. And that all starts with the engine department and the way that Doug Yates really approaches these restrictor plate races. So close, but to be outside pole, that's cool. I'm happy with that for Stewart-Haas Racing front row. Our Fords have been solid all year long, and then to back up the super speedway performance with the 2 front row starts today, it was a bucket list item. I really wanted the pole today, but we got outside pole, so not too bad.
All right, we're going to open up to questions for Kurt. Please raise your hand. We will get a mic. We'll start over here with Lee, and then go to Bob.
There's so much uncertainty here that it just really doesn't matter, I guess, where you start. I mean, the pit box is nice and it's great to stay up front, but being a veteran, do you think it will help with that uncertainty? Because Keselowski said before they made the restrictor plate change that the cars were out of control.
Right now, with the ride height balance and the handling on the cars, I've never really seen this much uncertainty going into a plate race before. So everybody's got their hands full. Handling will be at an all-time premium, and you have to make the right adjustments on the car, but also you can't double stint the left side tires too far, and you got to get the optimum tires on it for the end of the race. And at the same time, you just have to protect the car. So I think tomorrow's race will be about a patient race. It'll be about the old school mentality of protect your car and put yourself in position to win. And I don't think that the stage points are going to be the target for us on the 41. I think that we want to go after the big trophy at the end of the day, and that's going to come from a patient race.
We'll go to Bob next.
Bob Hockers, ESPN. Could you tell any difference with the change in the plate today, and what would you expect anything different than what you saw in the draft yesterday?
Couldn't tell much difference. It was bogged down a little bit for independent speed by itself, but it's supposed to really slow us down in the draft, and so we'll see what that does tomorrow. Will it do much difference? I really don't think so. It's a change that NASCAR makes, and so you have to adjust to it, and it's equal for everybody.
Do we have any additional questions for Kurt? Go back to Lee, and then go to Jerry.
Could you just talk about the strategy with you and Billy Scott? This year you guys have been really good at getting stage points, and I think you left a lot on the table last year.
Yeah, I felt like the first stage was my weak area last year, and it was how we would start the race on the scuff tires, and so we've really approached it differently this year, and Billy made me aware of some cool things to do, and to be able to run hard at the beginning of the race and not sacrifice anything towards that second stage. So, tomorrow's stage racing is very different at restrictor plate races, but overall this year, Billy has done a great job to help with the car's handling at the beginning of the race, and now we just need to parlay that and make good adjustments throughout the race to make sure we capitalize on a strong finish.
We'll go to Jerry and then Dustin.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net and PRN. Can you talk about, with Kevin winning earlier in the season, you guys obviously being fast, y'all are kind of the flagship Ford team out there right now. What have you learned? How has that performance helped your performance overall so far this season with the new crew chief and everything? You guys switched over last year. Y'all said y'all had a lot to learn. Well, it seems like y'all figured a lot of stuff out.
Yeah, it's been a good balance all the way through on how the cars are built. With Tony Gibson now as a shop foreman to all 4 teams, anytime that you can put a current crew chief at the race shop 7 days a week, that's going to benefit the program. And so that's where we've been stronger. Also getting our arms wrapped around the Ford balance with some of the torque levels in the engine, as well as some of the downforce levels on the aerodynamic side. And right now, everything's clicking. It's all on 8 cylinders, and it's a good feel. Even though, my little brother is the hottest guy on the circuit with 3 wins. Harvick has his 3. We've been knocking on the door, and it's just a matter of time. We just have to stay consistent, stay focused, and I really like the chemistry I have with Billy Scott. And today, it's a great day to celebrate, 2 Stewart-Haas cars, on the front row. Today's Kevin's day. tomorrow's going to be our day.
We'll go to Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. You referenced the uncertainty related to the no ride height rule. What exactly is the uncertainty or the unknown as you go into tomorrow's race?
The best way to describe it is, the cars are lower than they've ever been before as far as their ride height, and everything is pushed down. And when you have counts of drag that have been taken off the cars because of the ride height, well, when you lose drag, you lose downforce. So there's a lack of rear downforce on these cars, and it's going to be pretty sketchy tomorrow. We'll see how it plays out.
Similar to what happened at Daytona?
Even more so. The ride height rule, we're now, I think, another inch and a half further down, which is more drag taken off the cars and less downforce with the same tire and warmer track conditions.
So can you guys really run around each other a whole lot then? Or as the tires burn off, that sounds like you protect yourself, you have to run more single file.
It's dependent upon if you do 4 tires each pit stop or if you do 2, fuel only. There's a lot of variables. So I don't have any trepidation about running side by side. It's just a matter of protecting our car and watching how the others adjust to these tough conditions.
All right, Kurt, thanks for joining us and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
We're going to wrap up our media availabilities for today's Bush Pole qualifying. We are joined by our Bush Pole Award winner, Kevin Harvick, driver of the number 4 Bush Beer Flannel Ford. Kevin, pretty cool looking car that you're going to be starting on the pole position tomorrow. Why don't you take us through that run?
Yeah, well, it's just a huge credit to the team and Roush Yates Engines and everybody who works on all this super speedway stuff to make it what it is. We've made some huge improvements, and obviously to have the flannel Bush Beer program on board, the Bush guy here, and everybody from Bush there to see the Bush Pole Award presented to their car is obviously a lot of fun. So exciting weekend for us. Always fun to to have things being achieved. When the sponsors are activating and doing things. So it's great, and hopefully we can wind up in the same spot on Sunday.
All right, we'll open up for questions. We'll start up here, and then we'll go to Bob.
Dominic Ottagona with the Racing Experts in ESPN Albuquerque. Just walk us through that qualifying run. How confident were you guys you could sit on the pole at the beginning of the day?
We had no clue as to how fast the car would actually run. We knew we had a fast car, but we didn't do any qualifying runs or anything like that. So the first indicator that we had was the first time on the racetrack, and obviously that was even a little bit of a question just because of the fact we had to change the tires and cool the engine down and go back out. You just didn't know what the pickup in the car was going to be or not be. It's always a little bit of a surprise, and I think as you look at that's very rewarding for the guys that work on these speedway cars and the engine shop and the guys on our number 4 team. So that's the thing I'm the most proud of, because we've really never been close to a super speedway pole, and I think that says a lot about the effort that they're putting into it.
We'll go to Bob and then to Holly.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. Were you for the plate change? Could you feel any difference, and would you expect anything different tomorrow?
I think it's a small change. I don't know exactly what the speed difference will be. We never really saw what the speeds would be, with the other plate and the cars in a complete pack. So, with the cars so low and the way that the suspension rules are, the cars have a lot less drag, and I think it's the cars are still going to be on the top end of probably where everybody wants to see them.
Go to Holly.
Holly Kane, the NASCAR Wire Service. Kevin, sometimes we'll hear people say, starting on the pole at Talladega doesn't mean anything. Those are usually the people that aren't starting on the pole or weren't really challenging for it. Is it a place that you feel comfortable and feel like that will be advantageous for your race day?
Well, I like the first pit stall if it comes down to to a caution flag late in the race. I think as the years have gone by, I think track position and wanting to position yourself in the front of the pack is more important than it has been in the past because of stage racing. The way that the cars draft now is different than what it used to be, even going to the back, you still have to go through the swarm at some point. So, for us, we've tried to position ourselves in the front, and we've crashed at the front, the last several races. So it's definitely, I'd rather be in the front than have to worry about what your strategy needs to be. Now you know it.
Do we have any final questions for Kevin? All right, Kevin, we'll have fun this afternoon in the
Thank you.
broadcast.
Yep. I'm going to be late.